Welcome to HR Success Talk, a global platform of over 150,000 HR professionals and business leaders, with a presence in 11 countries including India, the UAE, USA, Ghana, Saudi Arabia, the United Kingdom, and more. We believe in creating exceptional workplaces through collaboration, learning, and meaningful conversations that drive growth. HR Success Talk is built on a simple idea: growing together. Here, you grow professionally while helping others grow. Build connections for networking, career advancement, business collaborations, and mentorship. With more than 70,000 followers on Facebook, 29,000 on LinkedIn, 60,000 plus active website users, and 36 plus WhatsApp groups, we ensure you're always part of the conversation. Our events are designed to bring people together through both offline and virtual formats. Offline events include HR conferences, conclaves, roundtables, and workshops, designed for in-depth learning and face-to-face collaboration. Our virtual events include webinars, online HR meets, and talk shows, bringing accessible insights right to your screen. HRST Elite Club is an exclusive community of senior HR and business leaders from key cities. These are focused, closed-door sessions for strategic leadership exchange and real-world problem-solving. Through our Future Leaders Club, we prepare emerging professionals to take on leadership roles by offering mentorship, structured learning, and networking. With over 250 HR meets, strong media recognition, and a global volunteer network, HR Success Talk is helping shape the future of HR and business. Whether you're a leader, learner, student, or mentor, there's a place for you at HR Success Talk. To get involved, write to us at deept.karana@hrsuccesstalk.com or visit www.hrsuccesstalk.com.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the audiences joining all over the world to our webinar called Voices That Matters, Edition 2. And in this webinar, we actually bring business leaders across the world to come and have conversations on the topics that matters to all of us. Today, I am hosting this webinar, and I'm really super excited because we have an incredible panel of CEOs and founders who have built businesses since many years, and having their perspective, especially on the business impact that comes from technology and culture. And I think these two things are really making a lot of impact nowadays, because when I go to YouTube and watch any podcast, most of the podcasts are on what technology is bringing to the business nowadays, and it's really crazy out there. But at the same time, when you listen to the news like thousands of people have been fired because of AI coming up, it has an impact on the culture that people are, the impact that people are actually observing in their organization because of those changes. So I'm super excited. We have a very, very, experienced panel today with 5 CEOs coming from all over the India, different cities of India, talking about the business impact of technology and culture. So before we start there, let me bring Shrikant on the screen. Shrikant is a good friend and a friend that who always make me taste the Bangalore coffee. So thank you, Shrikant, for that. I still remember that day. It was really nice coffee there in Bangalore. Shrikant owns a company called Offi Needs, which are basically into corporate gifting, and I'm sure they do many other things that I know. At the same time, Shrikant is being himself very active on social media, and he runs his business through technology. That I can tell. We've been a proud customer of Offi Needs as well, and I'm super impressed with the way the communication goes through technology. So first of all, Shrikant, welcome to the webinar.
Thank you so much, Govind. Thanks for a generous introduction. I'm really looking forward to learning something from this session.
Awesome. So, Shekhar, let me ask the question that I think you have evolved your organization to. As I said, that Need is not just simply a corporate gifting company, but at the core of it, there is a technology that is used, and there are multiple ways you have used technology itself. So, from your perspective, now, as we say many times that HR is not a support function, we also say technology is no longer a support function. They are becoming a business enabler nowadays. So, one or more such technology decisions that you have taken to impact your revenue, to maybe scale your business that you have and build the confidence of the client on your services. And if you can also touch upon if there is any cultural shift that you need to make sure that the technology that you're bringing is successful from execution to client satisfaction.
Absolutely. I think that's a great question to start off with, Govind. And like you rightly said, technology is not optional anymore. It's not a good to have, and it's not just something that you can showcase, which was the case maybe 5 or 10 years back, a fancy website that does something, and you can get away by calling it technology. But I don't think that's the age we are in anymore. And I want to talk about some examples specifically in the context of corporate gifting, right? So I run offineeds.com, which is an end-to-end corporate gifting company. Now, from the onset, it might look like, hey, corporate gifting is a pretty straightforward business, right? You're taking some merchandise, whether it is t-shirts, bags, jackets, water bottles, notebooks, new journey kits, award, something like that, customizing it with logos. इसमें क्या technology लगेगा? You're not totally wrong, right? It's a great business to start off with, very low entry barriers. It's a easy business to start, but an extremely hard business to be able to scale, right? And in that journey, we've been able to use technology very effectively, and we are. I'm a software engineer myself. I'm an engineer. I worked with Infosys for a short period of time before I started this company. So I'm a big tech and gadget freak, and I love using tech, right? So I want to talk about two situations, or just I would, I mean, I can share a dozen, but I want to talk about two, and I want to talk about a technology which we're using, which is really helping us scale our business, right? Because corporate gifting can easily be a brick and mortar business. The client asks you something, you talk to some vendors, get some PDF catalog, show it to them, and that's how one man shows operate. Husband wife teams, father son teams, and small teams operate like that, and that's fine for a certain scale. But growing beyond a certain point, we've created at the core of our business, we've created something called, we internally call it as PIM, which is product information management. What we've created is we've created our own technology layer, which is inclusive of AI, which includes its own vector databases, which has some set of tools which list all the products from across multiple vendors. We work with about 500-600 different vendors. All of them give us product information in different formats. Somebody gives an Excel, somebody says look at my website, somebody says I'll give you a PDF, somebody says here's a drive, somebody will send something on WhatsApp. So we built this interim layer which will take all of that information and aggregate that information, standardize it, and present it in a way that is acceptable to clients. And the nature of B2B business is that there is going to be flexibility. You need to think about how much time does it take to deliver that? Is the stock there in hand or not? What kind of customization is possible? Is pe embroidery hoga, is pe printing hoga, is pe engraving hoga, and all that kind of stuff. And then there is negotiation is unavoidable. You need to know how much to be able to negotiate. So we built this entire product information manager, which, think of it like what Redbus did several years back, right? Before Redbus, buses used to be like ad hoc. Each traveler, each bus owner had their own thing, right? So they brought entire thing on one platform. So we've created something like that, which is helping us really scale and empower our teams and empower our clients with information which is available in a jiffy. So that is something which is the foundation. It is the iceberg which is below the water, which most people don't see. But that is a foundation which is able to help us really well. And with this, another example of what we are able to build with this is we are able to build brand stores for clients. So we have an operation center in Bangalore where we do customization, print on demand customization, whether it's printing, embroidery, engraving, anything digitally, like really fast. And we are building brand stores for clients, which are e-commerce websites with their merchandise for their target audience, for their employees and things like that, customized with their brand logos. integrated, single sign-on integrated with their portals and everything, and which can also be connected to their rewards and recognition system. So a lot of organizations have R&R platforms where employees are earning points, so they are able to burn those points on the merchandise platform. So we are able to do this quite seamlessly, and this increases the barrier for entry for somebody else. So these are just two of the examples which I wanted to share where technology has been an absolute game changer for us.
No, that's really, really good. And I think I love the concept of the PIS, where you already have a lot of information in the background where you can serve your customers better. And I have personally seen the merchandise store concept. And I think it's great for organizations that are really, really huge, because for them, it is a nightmare to kind of go to each employee and ask. I think for a smaller company, still fine, you can still take things on the Google form or whatever. But when it comes to large organizations where employees really want to wear your brand, but they don't want maybe the things that the organization has provided to them on Diwali or some other occasion. They want to have their own different kind of merchandise. And I think this is where the merchandise store works pretty well for those organizations. Great examples. And I think it's a great example of how you can make sure that your processes in the whole operations taken care, and moreover, scalability, right? With the merchandise store, you can make scalability, and both of them helps in client satisfaction and delight the client the way you want to. And I think it also tells Srikanth that, as you said, that sometimes people can think that this business is a straightforward, why you need technology. But that also is a great example of, I think technology can be leveraged in any type of business. You just need to think what makes more sense to you and how can you do that.
Yeah, thank you.
Amazing. Amazing. I'll get back to you, Srikanth, on this, but I will just bring Mr. Daya on the stage now. And the thing I wanted to discuss with you, Mr. Daya, as you have founded an organization called Talent on Lease. You've been yourself CTOs of multiple organizations. You're ex-CTO of LG as well. And this organization is working to serve IT organizations or any organization that requires IT manpower, both in terms of hiring the talent and also making sure that you deploy talent as per their need, even if it is for a temporary basis. So there's a lot of conversation that you have with technology company, right? And I know that your company also uses technology. You're also building certain product that you wanted to leverage in the business that you already have. And as I said in the beginning of this particular conversation, that you hear AI, you hear automation, technology in every single conversation that we are having nowadays, right? No doubt, that technology enhancement brings a lot of speed, right? It does your task very, very, faster. But with that, it also impacts the culture of the organization, right? There could be people who are feeling afraid of losing their job. There are people who might be feeling that they are not up to the market now because technology has used. So it actually make a lot of dent on your culture. In your opinion, how to make sure that you're using technology for the betterment of the organization, but at the same time, you're not diluting the culture of your organization?
Sure, it's a great question, Govind. And when you talk about automation, when you talk about AI adoption, when you talk about access to the digital platforms, the whole world is changing. The whole dynamics is changing. I think almost 10 to 15 years back, I heard the VUCA word for the first time. The word VUCA for the first time, and I was just doing some sort of introspection and thinking about this, and thought that that came to my mind that yeah, we are living in a VUCA world, but what is happening on an everyday basis, the complexity element in this world is increasing everyday basis, right? And these are like some of the classical example that you took like automation, AI adoptions, and I'm not talking about the geopolitical scenario, the economic scenario and everything, but besides that, just focusing on the technology part, I think there is a lot that is happening today with the way we work, we run the organizations today. that it has, it has come to a point where I think having a good, solid, rock solid culture in the organization has become the necessity, right? And why I say so? Let me just kind of help you understand why it matters a lot to talent on leaves more than maybe any other organization. So Talent on Lease is a tech hiring platform. We provide techies on demand to the organizations. So we being platform, there are two kind of the stakeholders that we receive on our platform. One, those who have the demand, those who are looking for the right talent. That's the one segment that comes to our platform. On the other hand, there is a segment where there is basically which comprises of the service providers, right? Staffing recruitment companies or the IT service companies. They are going to be doing the fulfillment. Now, these two, if you look at stakeholders, are connected in a particular association, transaction, or relationship through the platform, right? So the platform plays the central role where it has to kind of assure two things for both sides, whether it is a demand side, whether it is a supply side. But what are those two things? These two things are nothing but trust and authenticity, right? If the trust and authenticity is not there, trust me, Govind, no platform can survive. And to have a platform not just survive but kind of solve the problem for the world, it has to have the trust and authenticity. And how that trust and authenticity will come? Basically, implementation of technology, making processes seamless and transparent to the entire value chain, so that entire value chain has a full confidence saying things are transparent here. Now, on one hand, when we are supposed to bring in that transparency, that also means more of automation, more of AI enablement, and with this, again, the people who've been serving on this various spectrum of this particular value chain, they feel that many of things are getting automated, and I'm actually losing my relevance, and it becomes a point of concern. And the point of concern is more serious when it comes to when people start feeling little disconnected actually. So as an organization, we are supposed to do two things. One, continue to move forward on the path of the technology adoption, because we want to bring in the transparency for the sake of trust and authenticity. At the same time, at the core, it's the human, it's the team, it's the people who are going to serve the customer, who are going to serve the partner. So we have to also ensure that they stay motivated all the time, they stay aligned all the time, and they understand what is happening, why it is happening, right? So coming back to the point where culture is very, very important for us, how we are trying to achieve this culture, I'll give you a couple of examples. And I think in my mind, there are three stages of any employee engagement or, with any organization, right? Where culture plays the important role. So, the first, I think, point to, or the starting point is where you are hiring a person. So when you hire a person, you make sure that when you hire a person, your processes are so enabled with the technology that when you do a hiring, you are hiring people not just for the skills that are required, but at the same time giving enough emphasis on the purpose alignment, right? If the people that you are going to hire, if there is no purpose alignment, it's going to break someday, today or tomorrow, right? It's not going to work. So purpose alignment is something that we make sure during the hiring process that is done well, so that we don't get into a situation which is avoidable. The other element during the hiring that we put a lot of emphasis on through the technology intervention again is the cultural fitment, right? So these are the two important elements when we are hiring anybody. Once we have hired, once we have released the offer and it comes to the onboarding, we have already identified people where there is a purpose alignment, there is a cultural fitment, there is a required skill and everything is done through all these assessment, everything is done through technology platform. Once that happens, then we move to the next stage, which is basically these people that we are going to hire, make them a part of our team. We actually go for extensive background verification check, because that's where you establish the fundamental trust with them, saying that I'm hiring the right people and I'm actually going to have this long-term associations with them. And once the background verification part is done, we basically get into signing the sharing the policy framework and everything, and signing the NDAs with them. And all this experience going happens through the technology, intervention of technology. And last piece, which is once they are hired, where they are onboarded in the organization, it is all about the employee engagement. And we do several activities on employee engagement front, and make sure that all these people are connected all the times and motivated all the times, which means reassuring at regular intervals that whatever we had in terms of cultural alignment and fitment, that remains intact. And despite the fact we every day, you know, uh, make more and more technological interventions in our system, make it more automated, but people still feel that there is a high value job that I'm supposed to do now with the time that I got at my hand, because technology has taken over certain piece of process. I have got more time, so that time must be invested either talking to the candidates or talking to the partners or talking to the clients, where majority of the value or most of the value of any individual playing a role of management comes in handy. So I mean,
Yeah.
all these things are there. So that's what my take, and it's a challenge actually. It's not that
Yeah, I
easy to
think
manage this.
you start very well with the VUCA word, and I would say that it is felt more nowadays as opposed to in the past, because it is changing so fast that people are not able to keep a pace with that self. And I also like the idea of trust and authenticity, because that's where keep the human connected with each other. And no doubt that technology is the enabler; it should definitely be used, but how to make sure that this is not used as something that we become non-human. It should be something that we should have more time to become human. And that is where I think I will just build up on this question, but I'll bring Sonu on the call here. And I would like to ask this particular question from him, where basically, so first of all, let me just introduce Sonu to everybody. Sonu Gupta is based out of Bangalore, and is the founder of Coders Brain, an organization that is working since decades to help again IT companies to thrive their own businesses. So Sonu provide the talented, skilled IT professionals to them, and been to this industry since many years. So no, again, you've been working with your clients are based out of technology, mostly IT companies, and you interact with them and you listen to their challenges. And I would say they reach out to you when they're actually in a lot of problem, because they might not be able to do certain things from their own recruitment engine, and that's why they reach out to you and say that we need the support from Coders Brain. My question to you is, and I'll pick from where Mr. Dea has left the conversation, that trust and authenticity, right? But at the same time, when you like nowadays any employee, any candidate to be hire, are basically looking forward for high tech technology. They want technology to be one of the prominent thing that they want to work on. Same time, when they're staying in the organization, they are not staying in the organization because of technology. They're staying in the organization because of the human element, the trust, and everything. Maybe the key thing as a caution to you is, how do you think that we should make a perfect balance of technology and human to make sure that we are able to attract the right talent to get into our organization, then retain them in a way that they should be, and grow them in the organization itself? What do you have to say on that?
Sure. So quickly introduction about myself. So Sonu Gupta from Coders Brain, and we have 700 employee company now. So I seen lot of kind of the plus and minus, right? So we started with 2 member, and when I was having around 2,000 rupee, and that time like just to start it and bootstrap mode and everything. But I seen mean like culture is very important compared to technology. So when you connect the dots, so then you see that mean like the value is driven. So I have a guys sitting across India. So around my 90% population work from home, and they talk in different language. So one person talk in Tamil, Telugu, and all. So they all the guys who basically come for interview, they feel that mean like this is my company. Basically, they feel that inner sense of it, right? So what I seen is mean like the conversion and the onboarding and the process, all these things lie along with the culture and kind of the behavior you effect to the resource. So when we used to hire the resources, we used to talk in different languages, we understand their concern and all those aspect. And when they onboard, then we will make sure that complete life cycle from onboarding to the exit will remain very good. So that mean like I have resources working from past 5 to 10 years now, and they don't want to leave because they feel that mean like this is the company where they want to invest their time, right? So as they are mentioned last time, like in authenticity and trust aspect. So what I seen is like means when you start giving the value to the resources and the customers, they will be with you. And recently, I mean, like I was talking to regarding one framework which is called Shift framework. Is more of like you don't have to do micromanage. You basically you give them freedom, ownership kind of thing, and hire for adaptability. Okay, so when someone hires a person, give them a chance. That means like they should be agile enough. They should understand what they want to do it, and then they used to integrate with AI and all those things. And so slowly we have built a tool called codersbrand.ai, where what we are doing basically, I mean like you will see all the profiles coming from different sources, so you can see all kind of the results, and then directly you can submit to the customer. So these are the couple of points which we have implemented as part of Coders Bank. I think your voice is not coming, Govind.
So sorry, I was on mute. I'm still learning how my voice should go out if I'm on mute, but not able to crack that. Okay. What I was saying is that I can vouch for. I follow you on social media, right? And your Coders Brain social media page as well. And I have seen many employees celebrated on long-term association with you. And I'm sure there is some charisma that you guys do, because that's not easy, right? That's not easy for people to stay in an organization for a longer period of time. It's not easy for employee to also advocate the company in front of everybody on social media. So kudos to you and your team for doing that. I think every one of us on this call, but I can talk about that also in the second round of conversation, will agree that micromanagement is not that we would like to do, unless you're dealing with somebody who is not doing the work and you really want to do the micromanagement of thing. And the hiring for impact is really key. I was not aware of that you had this codersbrain.ai platform as well, where you have all the resumes coming and the filtration is happening. So good to know that, and good to know your views on how technologies are used, but still we are not losing the human aspect and making sure our culture is still there.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So I'll just tweak a little bit this conversation from culture to maybe to team cohesiveness. And I will bring Manan on this call for now to have a conversation on how team cohesiveness is something that we can look up to when we are using technology to the best. So first of all, let me introduce Manan for everyone. Manan is the CEO of the company called DevStrings, and they are basically working and building softwares for their clients all over the world. And recently, they have also launched their product called Globe HR, that is into HR space. So many of our HR audience who is on the call, maybe if they wanted to try that product, reach out to Manan for that matter. You can find him on the LinkedIn. But Manan, again, you have a technology company, right? Unlike others, right? We have Shrikant, who is using technology for building, for using corporate gifting, Daya, who is basically serving the technology clients, and then we have Sonu also serving the technology company. But you are the one who's actually building technology, right? You're a technology company. You have also built up your own product right now. Now, maybe the situation in your organization is very different. You have all the techies on the floor or maybe working remotely right now, and everyone is trying to be up in the game, right? They want to, whatever they have learned today, they want to learn more. So they also want to enhance their technology. Now, once that happens, right? First, I believe, and it's my assumption, you can correct me when you're answering this question, that once the technology comes, the work gets faster, right? You have to do less effort, but you have to be more business-oriented, problem-solving attitude that you have to have, which also means that you are not in your own purview. You overlap with the roles that other people are playing. Like, just to give an example, we know a few days back, few months, years back, maybe, when developers are developer, QA is the QA, UI is the UI, but now you're looking for full stack, right? The whole definition has completely changed. How do you make sure that the technology advancement is not impacting the team cohesiveness, is not impacting the innovation that team need to bring? How do you manage that?
Yeah, thanks, Govind. So that's correct. Because the technology is advancing at a very rapid pace in this AI era, and basically in startups or the companies have limited resources, so same people wear multiple hats. So that's correct. That first, technology innovation helps team moves faster and adapt quickly. That is one thing, good side of technology. But especially in the smaller team where people shares multiple role. For example, in our case as well, where like we have built several platform. One of them is the HR tech product, Clove HR. So in that as well, we have a clear distinction between the ownership wherever, even if the roles overlap. So for example, we encourage team members to experiment, but with some basic guidelines. So innovation doesn't break the system overall. So we put a strong focus on qualities, the processes to end, but those processes should not be cumbersome as well. So we have to ensure that we don't compromise on quality. We don't, basically we have to make sure that once anyone is wearing multiple hats, for example, playing the part of developer as well as the testers, for example. So he has to do the testing of his code as well. But at the same time, we have a peer review in place as a basic check to ensure that the quality should not be compromised. So like this, where we have a smaller teams where we have roles overlapping with each other, so we have to put a basic framework with basic guidelines in place so that those quality can be maintained without any compromise. So now I come back to the technology innovation once again. So in the technology innovation, like with the rapid advancement, for example, recently we have launched face recognition features. We have launched OCR capabilities where you can just scan the reimbursement bills for your staff, and that can populate all the data for you within few seconds. So these features help only be possible with the advancement of the technology. So that's definitely helpful. And also, like for example, how it is making your life more simpler, because now we can do things not in weeks, within few hours, within few days, not even days, within hours only. So we ship basically a couple of times in a week, and we have those strong checks in place so that the code don't get break. So we make sure that the quality is not compromised despite we move faster with the technology enhancement. So yeah.
Awesome. I think it's a great use of making sure that you are not having a lot of manpower to work the transactional work, but as opposed to that, using it for faster results.
Right.
Thank you, Manan, for sharing your inputs on that. Let me just now bring Krishna on this. Krishna is the CEO of Techno Yuga, a smart guy, as you can see on the screen.
Hello, Gaurav.
Based out of Indore. Hello. Based out of Indore. And, they are also into serving their customers for technology needs that are there, right? Um, and while he is working on that, and I think when I talk about Techno Yuga, Krishna, if I'm not wrong, that you basically focus a lot on bringing transparency, integrity, and the client success while you're still developing the customer digital solution across the industry. So that's what Techno Yuga lives for, right? But now,
Absolutely.
when we look at that particular part, now from your perspective, how does a culture of trust in your organization and a client-centric collaboration interact with the changes that is happening in the technology at this point in time? Does it give a competitive advantage or it doesn't? Over to you.
Yeah, great. So this is a great question, Govin, and I would like time to explain this. How does it work, and how does it help us to take a competitive advantage or the trust of the client? So since starting of the Techno Yuga, when I started, I saw a big gap between the IT agencies who work here in India and in abroad. And I seen that the major issue was the trust and the transparency, where most of the companies have salespeople. They are just talking, committing something which is not feasible, not taking technology team in the confidence, and that has created a lot of bad reputation for the Indian companies. And while working with many agencies in past, myself being an employee, I thought to solve this issue with the Techno Yuga. So when we started with two developers, our goal was very simple: being a transparent and honest company for our clients. Who cares about their success. We are empathetic. And that's how our company DNA has been evolved. Our team has been nurtured in that culture. And that helped us a lot from the day one when we kickstart our conversation with client. And in my opinion, trust and client centric collaboration are becoming even more critical in this AI era. you know uh, in Techno Yoga, as you know, like, we work with multiple businesses, across sensitive and high impact industries like finance, oil and gas, or healthcare, where the data and the security is very important. We regularly operate under the non-disclosure agreement, secure development practices, not exposing the data of the customer on these LLMs, ensuring that all the information is under the protected environment. And when we talk about this policies and the IP protection of the product which we are building for our clients, they take it as an big advantage in their decision making, and that has helped us a lot in last 5 years to grow from 2 people to 70 plus people team, and helping 250 plus client across the industries under Techno Yuga. So I believe strong values like transparency, accountability, and secure collaboration, are now a major competitive advantage. Technology can definitely evolve. AI can be more aggressive on us, but the secure collaboration are now a major competitive advantage, and we are helping with the same intention, like where we care about our clients and be a partner in their success. That's how generally we operate at Techno Yoga.
Oh, that's really awesome, and thank you for sharing this. I personally believe that there are a lot that is changing in the way technology organizations in India used to work in the transformation, and I think people like you bring that, and it gives a confidence to the world that India's team can not only be an operational back office, but they can also work on innovation. Great, thank you.
Absolutely.
And I would like to bring all the panelists on this screen now, one by one, to make sure that we have this conversation with everybody on screen. Um,
Sure.
so I've added Daya here, adding Shrikant now, also adding Sonu Gupta and Manan on the screen, just to make sure that we have all the panelists because I'm going to take some questions that might be anyone that would like to answer. But before I start with any question, I must say what a great screen with people who are really building the India. And like a lot of conversations we have, I always say that India is not the India that I have seen, right? Especially our Gen Zs are going making it much better than what it was before. But I think it's also because of people like you on this call that who have started a journey and made sure that we are putting a lot of efforts in our own businesses and making sure that it goes beyond the vicinity that we are working at right now. So, lot that people can learn from you. We have some questions that have come up from our audience as well, and I'll take them one by one. And I think the question that I will take, and anyone can answer this because this is a common question that all of you might have experienced. So this is a question from Vrinda, and she says, "What role does company culture play in successful digital transformation?" So one is, of course, the founder and the CEO should say, "I want to do this digital transformation," but that not necessary. The founder and CEO is not the company, right? A company is a group of people, the team member that you have to work for. And I think that's where the team need to accept that they need to have a digital transformation. Like, for example, if Srikanth decides one day, I want to put everything on e-commerce, now people might like, well, what is our role in it, right? Do we really need that? We are happy with the way we were happening. Why you want to make this transition? Things like that might come up. So question is, if any company wants to do a successful digital transformation, what role does company culture play? And you want to share any example to do so?
So I
Yeah, I
think,
don't.
yeah,
Yeah, go
go
ahead.
ahead. Okay. So for me, I feel like I prioritize cultural transformation first, then the digital or technology. But because for me, I think once the team is ready, as you also mentioned, like you quoted an example for Shrikant, if the team is not ready for that cultural transformation, then even the technology innovation won't help. So for me, it's like culture drives change, and then technology helps it to scale further. So first, that cultural transformation, that culture thing in the organization should be done. That should be imbibed in the skeleton or the framework of the organization, that everyone knows where they have to focus on, and with full force, all team members should have that specific goal to achieve. Once that kind of culture is set, then I'm sure any technology hindrance can be solved using one or another tool.
Thank you, Manan. Shekhar, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this question is especially relevant for me because I think most of you, the other panelists who are there, already have a lot of people who are tech savvy or who are technologists itself, right? Whereas I come from an organization where, like, at least 40% of my team is, operational. They're delivery boys and packing team and things like that. And I think especially in kind of brick and mortar kind of businesses, but even among technologists, I think it's a human nature to resist change, right? Anything that is new, anything we want to first resist instead of just embracing it. It could be for multitude of reasons, right? So I think it's a great question, and I think it's important to focus on bringing everybody on board, getting them sharing the idea and sharing the vision on why we are going to do it, and very importantly, demonstrating to the teams that this is not additional work, but this is actually designed to make your work more effective. I think that is the first thing that needs to be done before you start implementing any technology. Otherwise, it's just going to flop. And I want to talk about one of the initiatives which we're doing is we all talk about AI and everything, right? So it's one thing to be able to talk about AI, but I would say it is wrong to assume that everybody is going to learn AI on their own, right? So I think it's important that organizations should do some hackathons, some training, some kind of sessions to be able to initiate, impart this knowledge, and to be able to give opportunities to the employees to be able to fiddle around and try some things on their own. This is something which we're doing. We have We have some subject matter experts which we've created on specific technologies that we use, so that the people who are not so tech friendly don't feel left out and are encouraged to at least execute on their ideas, even if they don't want to get their hands into literally learning new technology or anything like that. So that's my take on this particular question. Hope makes sense.
No, I think it does make a lot of sense. Although I wanted to control myself not to speak on this topic, but I think after listening to both of you, I have to say what I have to say. So Shrikant, I think many of you know on this panel that I have 3 organizations at this point in time, and all the 3 organizations have digital marketing people working on it. And I believe the AI, like, of course, AI can impact all the areas and can really add a lot of value. But digital marketing is the area I think they can, like, AI is crushing it right now, right? A lot of things that you can leverage. So what we did, and I think I will just say the same thing, that before saying my digital marketing people that you start using AI, we actually started having conversations around and building a base of how AI can help them to do their job in a very efficient way. And they will have time to think creatively as opposed to doing certain things that they were doing like mechanical, right? And once the team is aware of this fact that it's actually adding a lot of value and reducing their workload from that perspective, they have started using AI in the way that I have not imagined. So I think rather than just saying them do this and do that, it just put that seed inside them, the curiosity seed, and the thing that they can do it crushes everything. So I want to give an example to it. That's what I was holding myself not to tell you guys. But Shrikant and everybody on this call, that we do a lot of roundtables, right? And we were discussing that roundtables are many times like a very mechanical way people come and all that stuff. How do we make these roundtables very interesting, right? So we came up with this idea of doing case studies during the roundtables. Worked very well, went well, but everything has a little bit of span of life. After that, people start feeling like, okay, it's the same concept all the time. So when we're discussing with the team came up with this idea that in your next roundtable, don't do a case study, but don't do it in a traditional way. Like traditional ways, put the case study on the slide and just show them and ask their opinion, right? As opposed to that, you should better make sure that we should have a video representation of that. So Mr. Daya, Krishna, and Sonu, and Manan, and Shrikant, my team came up with a video. That video was a case study. I'm getting goosebumps when I'm saying this with you. Last Saturday, we did that. Same case study that I did with the other roundtable, converted to a video with 4-stage questions, 1 stage, 2nd stage. It blown away the speakers, to the extent that they said, send me this video. We want to have this video. We want to run the same thing, right? That was slide. That was a video representation of what the case study looks like. I think what I'm trying to say here is that I think when you start technology and start thinking creativity and give your team a little bit of freedom, but provided that you have educated already to them that how AI can help, really makes a lot of difference. Sorry, I took a little bit, 3-4 minutes of your time, but just wanted to share that story with everyone here. Awesome. So the question I want to ask to Krishna and Mr. Daya, if you can answer this question, and this question is from Ashish, and this question is, which emerging technology do you believe will create the biggest business impact in the coming year? So Krishna, Mr. Daya, what do you think?
Absolutely. Daya, if you would like to take, you can. Otherwise, I will answer this. Okay. So, Ashish, thanks for this great question. And so everyone is talking about AI, machine learning, and so on. So definitely AI is something will create the biggest business impact, positively plus negatively as well. But the major, use case, or I would say the technology innovation, that is agentic AI, which already started playing a bigger role in the businesses. You talk about heavy manual works has been transforming through, the agentic AI systems, where the multiple agents are collaborating, working, and developing, reports or verifying things a lot of things already being taken over by agentic AI systems, and I feel this will be playing a very big business impact in the coming years. Of course, said parties, it would also negatively impact on the lot of people's job, or I mean, so that's a negative part. But yeah, positively, if we talk about, it is helping a lot of businesses already in terms of efficiency, accuracy, and of course faster turnaround time. So that's my answer.
I love
Sure.
that. I think
I mean,
agentic AI is
just to
going
add
crazy.
to
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just to add to what Krishna said, we had talent on leave in last 1 or 2 years, especially, right? It's been almost 5 years that we're running this platform now. But if I look at last 1 or 2 years, particularly, there are four, technology that I would say that there is a huge thrust on, and a huge promise on delivery. Right? It depends a lot on the organization's maturity level, also at what level of organization maturity they are in terms of reaping the benefit of the technology. But if I talk in general, our last maybe 1 or 2 years of experience tells us clearly there are four technology buckets that are going to basically create wonders for the organization in terms of achieving the efficiencies, productivity, and all that they wish to achieve. But those are simply as you said, Krishna, AI ML is one technology area, no doubts about it. The other one is the data analytics and data science. That's the second. The third one we are seeing is the cloud and DevOps. Right? That's the third technology bucket that we're seeing has a huge potential in terms of giving the organization the edge they could achieve through it. And the fourth one that we have seen is the evergreen one, which is the full stack development, right? And these are like four areas: AI, ML, data science, data analytics, cloud and DevOps, and full stack development are the four technology area that are going to be the key focus for next 1 or 2 years at least. And I think anything beyond that to predict at this moment will be very, very tough, because the technology hype cycle itself has shrunk to maybe a couple of months, from couple of years to couple of months. So,
Awesome.
but having said that, there are a lot of organizations still have not taken advantage of these technologies that I spoke about. But they should definitely think about their business, what their business is, how they want to, kind of bring in those interventions of technology to build that edge in their business. Use these technologies to get business benefit and not for the adoption of the technology, I would say.
Thank you, Mr. Daya, for this. And I think the time flies, and we are already over the time that we are supposed to give to this. But I feel like that we can continue having this conversation, maybe offline, only among us, and not on the live platform. But so well said. And agentic AI, I think I have never tried my hands on that, Krishna, but I keep watching about it. Sometimes I feel that it's too much for me to try at this point in time. But I also feel that I might get addictive if I start working on it, and it might go for a longer of my time will go to try that. So I'm not experimenting it, but I do see what you're saying, and Mr. Daya, I agree. Like a lot of technology that are there, many organizations have not even leveraged them to the fullest at this point in time. Well, with the shortage of time that we have, we need to say goodbye to all of you, and I'm sure the audience that have joined or going to watch this webinar offline after it is over. If you have any question, keep typing. I see a lot of questions which I couldn't take to the panelists right now. Maybe a request to the panelists. My team will share the link of this particular webinar to you. If you can go back and see the comments and answer those people's question, that will be really, really awesome. There will be many who will be asking questions even after this webinar is over. So I would request you, if you have some time, keep doing this. That will motivate and give directions to a lot of entrepreneurs, future CEOs, people in the HR fraternity, people who love to have technology in their own functional area. With that said, everybody, thank you very much and have a nice day.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, sir.
Great meeting
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you so much.
Same
Have a
here.
great
Thanks.
day. Bye.
Thanks for
Thank you.
joining.